With it being the 18th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith's release in 2005, it seems appropriate to perform an analysis on it. With its excellence having been covered in depth well by others though, it will be on an aspect some may overlook. Leaving aside the memes spawned from it, one of the most notable parts of the scene in which Anakin is denied the rank of Master is the antagonism between he and Mace Windu, which feeds into later scenes of mistrust between them. With Lucas's Star Wars saga, and the prequel trilogy in specific, having a key focus on how certain characters parallel or reflect another, one such pair that goes overlooked often is that of Anakin Skywalker and Mace Windu. Similarities between the two are made apparent in Attack of the Clones, with both at least shown respect for each other's strength, that highlight how both are warriors at heart, that prefer aggressive negotiations. A less obvious parallel is how the events on Geonosis and their aftermath create hypocrites of both in terms of adherence to the Jedi Code, not just in Anakin choosing to go against the code and secretly give in to his feelings for Padme, but in the man who described the Jedi as keepers of the peace rather than soldiers, slaying Jango Fett, and quickly adapting to leading clone troopers into battle. On the subject of battle, Windu's fighting style, with his use of the pad, and how Lucas uses lightsabers to display attributes of his characters, visibly showcases Windu as someone who walks a line between light and dark, compared to most Jedi. This isn't too different from Anakin's misgivings with the Jedi Order, and his emotions causing him to naturally let his passions feed him as the Sith do. The difference is that, as expected of a master compared to one not granted such a rank, Mace represents the control of what darkness surrounds him, whereas Anakin is one who merely gives in to his. On to the main focus of Revenge of the Sith. These parallels continue when comparing Anakin executing Dooku to Windu's attempt to kill Palpatine. Both go against what's considered the Jedi way, but for different reasons, with Anakin giving into a desire for revenge, whereas Windu does so for the sake of the Jedi and the Republic's well-being, regardless of what consequences he would be forced to face. This also makes it fitting that the demise of Windu, the birth of Darth Vader, and the fall of the Jedi Order occur in such close proximity to each other. Windu's attitude towards Anakin feeding into him being swayed by Palpatine add to one of the prequel's main narrative points, in the Jedi Order being an organisation in decline that partially brought about their own destruction, the inability of all but Qui-Gon to see the necessity in trusting in the will of the living force more than their own dogma, causing them to be incapable of aiding Anakin's mental and emotional betterment, and make his transformation into Vader almost inevitable. Because of this, both Mace and Anakin represent the failings of the Jedi, in Windu displaying the flaws of their teachings, and Anakin's turn representing the endgame of not fixing a broken system. It can be argued Mace's character decisions came about from a level of jealousy towards Anakin. Even without drawing on expanded universe material, we see glimpses into this, with Windu becoming dismissive of Anakin's status as a Chosen One, compared to his more trusting nature in the belief before the Clone Wars, despite Anakin having proven himself even more during the conflict. This is not too dissimilar to Anakin's instances of jealousy, such as his frustration with not being given the rank of Master, or the thoughts on Padme's connection to Obi-Wan that reached their boiling point, appropriately, on Mustafar. It's for all these reasons that Mace Windu's importance to the wider narrative of the prequel trilogy, and Star Wars as a whole, is shown best when viewed comparatively with Anakin, in how they represent the great strength and even greater failings of what the Jedi Order was by the last days of the Old Republic, and what was necessary to change for there to be a new hope in its return. At least if we ignore what Disney did. Thank you for watching all of this analysis, and especially thank you to George Lucas for giving us the films this video focuses on. with it being the 46th anniversary of A New Hope, and the franchise's cinematic start in a few days, along with the 43rd anniversary of Return of the Jedi. I hope to get another video out by then, if all goes well.